Well, hello everybody. It is that time again. It is Friday night and you guys are hanging out with me. My name is C for those who don't know if it may be your first time. And I am the owner of CLM Custom Designs on Etsy as well as YouTube, and my channel is All Things Crafting. So welcome back if you've been here before, and if not, welcome. Come on in and take a seat and we are going to get to know Miss Shawn. But we're going to get through the housekeeping. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done that, as well as hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the content that I drop, which should be weekly content. I've been a little lazy lately, but typically it is weekly content. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, Shawn, introduce yourself and tell the people what you do.
So, my name is Shawn Every, affectionately known as the Oil Whisperer.
Okay.
I am an aromatherapist, um, living in a little small town in Louisiana with my husband. And it's from an early age that I started um, being like dedicating myself to helping people. And within the recent years, um, I struggled with fibromyalgia, chronic pain for the last 20 years. And once I figured out that I could coach myself to wellness, balance, getting my life back, then I knew that it was something that I needed to do to help others who were suffering as well. So that is what my mission are also dealing with fibromyalgia, um, and helping them to take charge of their health and to get their life back, to be able to get back to doing the things that they love, that and to just become whole again.
Okay. Nice. So was entrepreneurial something that you've always thought about doing as a young person, or did it truly just come about because of you trying to figure out what was going on with your health?
It is something that I was forced to do because of not being able to hold down a regular 9 to 5 job. So
Okay.
it was something that I've within those last 20 years that I've kind of played around with exploring different options, different businesses, network marketing, different things that I've done. But I think I've found my true passion now.
Gotcha. Well, that's one thing I tell people all the time, that business sometimes is born out of necessity. There's a need that has to be met, right? So in your
Yes.
case, it was like, okay, I can no longer be in the 9 to 5, but I still need an income. So what does that look like for me? So not everybody has always dreamt about owning their own business or wanting to work for themselves. Some people are perfectly happy working a 9 to 5 and know that there's a guaranteed paycheck, sort of, because we're in a time that not is not necessarily a guarantee, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But again, sometimes you're forced into situations where you have to pivot and you have to do something different. So in your case, your journey started a little bit later in life, as you
Yes.
mentioned, out of the need. So was this something that was sudden, or were you able to gradually kind of research and figure it out, or were you just kind of like, okay, I have to do it?
It was sudden,
Okay.
because I had was in the corporate world and working um, for an insurance company,
Hmm.
and had really worked my way up from basically the mailroom up to management,
Nice.
and really loved what I was doing. But then chronic illness reared its ugly head, right? And you're forced to come to the realization that, okay, um, I can't do this anymore. It's not fair to, that's the way I felt. I felt it wasn't fair to my employers
Okay.
to hold that position. And I never knew when I was going to have to call in and say, look, I can't make it today.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So it was like, and even the doctor told me, he said, you're only exacerbating the issue. because you keep
Mhm.
trying to go back
Got it.
and perform these duties, and it's only hurting you.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I really didn't like the idea of um, maybe taking an early disability,
Mhm.
but that's what I had to do, right?
Gotcha. Okay. So then you start thinking about what is it I can do, right? Like you said, you
Yes.
start trying out a lot of things. And then how did you actually land on the aromatherapy? Was that something your doctors were kind of gearing you towards for your health, or you just did some research and figured this is working for me?
No, it actually took me a number of years. This is new even within the last 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was because I tried I knew that I wanted to do something. I needed to do something to contribute to my family household income.
Sure.
And I had tried the working from home, but still a 9 to 5, and it just
Mhm.
wasn't working. So I tried, doing the contracting positions,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it just didn't work for me because my health was in really bad shape. Like
Okay.
and I was doing all the things as far as Western medicine, you know, because it really it's a sickness where you don't really know what it is. At the time, they didn't know what it was and had to go through a lot of testings and lab work and ruling this out and that out, and kind of became like a guinea pig. Trying different medications. And at one point, I was on 23 different medications a
Wow.
day. And that that became really exhausting.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
So I was introduced to a naturopathic doctor
Mhm.
who started to look at me holistically, right? And wasn't
Mhm.
just saying, well, let me give you something for this symptom or that symptom.
Okay.
And she introduced me to the world of essential oils.
Okay.
And that was the first time I got real relief, real lasting relief, right?
Okay.
And she, it was like, wow, where have you been all my life, right?
Right.
And I'm always the type of person who I love to learn, right? And so she saw that in me. It was like, maybe this is something that you need to look into doing.
Okay.
And she kind of planted that seed there. I
Mhm.
didn't do anything with it initially, but as time went on and I found um, an aromatherapy school that I could do online,
Okay.
and that I was introduced to it, and the way that it happened, I knew that it had to be the answer to my prayers. Like I knew I needed to do something,
Got it.
and so I was like, okay, this is it. So
Right.
I want to become an aromatherapist. I want to help others the way that I've been helped.
Nice, nice. And that's one thing. Oh, hey, Natural Alley D. Let's give a shout out. She's in the chat.
Hey,
Feel free to ask any questions or anything, and we will certainly direct them to Shawn. But yeah, I mean, I think that's great that I think all good businesses are born from what we love to do. Because if it's not something you believe in or something you love, you cannot sell it, teach it, or even give it away for that matter, right?
right,
So
right,
you already knew it was something that was helping you, right? So you had that under the market. And that is something too. I think people like it, but for a different reason than for probably the angle you were going to, right? People just like the way it smells. They just love the way it
yes,
smells, right? But
right.
not never thinking of it from a medicinal standpoint.
Hmm.
So hey, why not give it a try? Hey, productive, you're productive. productivity coach, as well as Miss Janina Hamilton. I think we were talking about you guys earlier. I think y'all
Yes. Hey, ladies.
thanks for joining the chat. So yeah, so I love that. Oh, first of all, and starting businesses late in life. I mean, it would be great if we all came out of high school and boom, started our own business and began, but it doesn't always happen like that, right? So I love the fact that, later on in life you picked this up and now you're running with it. Okay, so now we're here. You're looking into this, and that was going to be my next question. What type of education is required? You talked a little bit about aromatherapy school online, which I had no idea that it was a thing. So now that you're thinking, I'm going to do this, kind of what is required? It's going to school? Is it getting licensed? Kind of what does that look like?
Yes. So with the aromatherapy certification, it is that's what it is. It's not a license that I'm getting, it's a
Okay.
certification that
Okay.
I'm getting. And it's a 6-month course um that is involved and is very intense, even though it's online and at your own pace in a sense, but
Mm-hmm.
it's intense in the sense of that you're really delving deep into the world of essential oils.
Okay.
And what I love about the school that I attend, Holistic Champions, is because it's also the business side of it as well. So it's a unique setup because you're learning about the science behind the oils and blending and aromatherapy, but then also how to start your practice,
Okay.
right? And all of the things that you may not just know, but laying a good foundation for starting that practice. So that is um, like one of the things that I really, when I found out about the school, that really appealed to me because I knew that I needed something like that, help to get my business up and going.
Mm-hmm.
I I have a little experience in running my own business, but not in this sense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So it's kind of a twofer. You got to learn about it, but then also it taught you how to set up and get started, which is kind
Yes,
of nice because usually that's two separate payments. Like you can learn about
right.
it at one place and then you have to get set up at another place. Naturally, Allie says, yep, she can relate because she had the same journey getting to her aromatherapy through a neuropathy.
Naturopathic.
Thank you. Doctor. Okay, y'all got me tongue twisting. It is Friday. It's been a long week and y'all got me talking crazy on here. But yes, absolutely. And Janine says Shawn has some fun and effective blends. Okay. So let me okay, so we get to the school, right? We're now certified, we're getting our business set up, right? Is this mainly a online thing? Are we talking about physically going places like door to door craft shows? We talking brick and mortars. So what does this or is it coaching? Is it the coaching piece of it? Is it selling the oils and the mixtures, or is it a combination of both?
It's what you decide to do with it,
Okay.
right? She just prepares you for the foundation of being able to market and sell your whether it's products or services.
Okay.
So mine is has been kind of a hybrid
Okay.
because like in going through school we have case studies that we have to complete in order to become certified. So in those case studies I was you know um, making the blends for the clients, and and these were not face to face. Well, I say face to face, but not in person
Okay.
clients. They were all online. So it's and I mean the world is going more towards
That it is.
online, you know, digital. So and since COVID, of course, since the pandemic, you know, which I'm a little late with that,
Hmm.
but still trying to get in that aspect of it, of doing the online thing. And so now, like I said, the hybrid part of it is like if a person, if I find out that they need some type of blend or recommendation of something, then I will offer to them to make the blend for them. Or my biggest thing is why not educate them to be able to do it themselves? You know, teach a man how to fish, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yes. So I do that as well as coaching. The coaching aspect of it is being able to, again, guide and coach the clients to that balanced, healthy life. Because it's a holistic approach, right? It is um, not just saying, okay, well, let me treat this headache that you have, but let's figure out what in your lifestyle, what changes can you make? You know, is it stress?
Hmm.
Do we need to work on the stress level? Um, is it that it's the insomnia? Well, what's your routine? What's your sleep hygiene like? You know, so um, that's like the biggest piece of it for me will be the it's the coaching
Education.
part of it, yeah, and educating individuals to be able to, and I use the word heal lightly, um, but to be able to really use the tools that that I provide or introduce them to help to better themselves.
Hmm. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, nice, nice. So, um, are you specifically with the fibromyalgia population? Are you pretty much across the board? I know you said that's your focus because it helped you. And
Right,
fibromyalgia is one of those things where you need something because I swear when the doctor don't know what you got, they tell you you got fibromyalgia because
right.
it's just like an umbrella. I'm just like y'all just you know. I'm like, well, when they can't put their hands on it. So I know people suffer with that and can't seem to find any relief. So is that your specialty? Because that's what you're familiar with, or you treat everything?
So that's my ideal client, right?
Okay.
But I'm not going to turn away someone who says, well, I have similar symptoms, because fibromyalgia mimics other things too, right? Thyroid issues. Um, there are even menopause,
Ah,
you know. So I'm not going to turn away a person saying, well, you don't have fibromyalgia, so I'm not
gotcha.
going to work with you.
But
But
that
any way
information.
that I can help to ease help to find relief for those issues that they may be dealing with, then yes, I'm all for it.
Gotcha. So you said you've been doing this for about 2 years strong?
Yes, it's going on 2 years now.
Okay. Nice, nice. So if you had to look back over the past 2 years, would you say you would do something different, or there was an aspect of it that you wish you would have known then that maybe you found out now, or a tip or suggestion for someone maybe heading not necessarily even in your business, but just in business in general?
Well, I think I'm big on having a coach because you need somebody who maybe has been through it and has had the bumps and bruises before, and they help you to avoid those
Hmm.
by guiding you, you know, through the way that you should be doing it. So in actuality, the school that I attended was she became my mentor, my coach. And that is just something that I feel like people um, should be aware of. and should see the need to have someone in your pocket like that, a mentor, because it it's hard to try to go out there and do this entrepreneurial thing on your own, you
Definitely
know.
not for the faint of heart.
Right.
I
And with a chronic illness is, it just adds to it.
Right, because
It's
even though you
that
started your
total.
own business and you can work, it doesn't mean it, you still got your health problems. So, I mean, this
Right,
allows you to be flexible, kind of manage your own time. But the fact of the matter is, you still have the same things going on. And aside from that, your family and all the other things that you do in your life, right?
right.
So definitely I say that too, which is why in a way I've created this platform because there are so many gatekeepers that really are not necessarily that forthcoming, especially if you're in the same market that they're in. And I'm sure you've run into people
Yes.
like that because, in every genre you have that. And I feel like there's so much to go around that it's no need to be that way. You know what I mean? It's just no need to be that way. There's enough business and everything for everybody. And I wanted to, give people an opportunity, of course, to, reach out to people who may not be in their, local purview, but then also to let people know that there are people, not is people, but there are people who are willing to share the information that they have. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not that deep, right? Because what's for you is for you, so it doesn't matter, sharing it or not. And so I just love the idea of community and the mentorship and sharing with people because sometimes people are afraid to jump into things because they just don't know. You know,
That's true. That fear holds people back from doing a lot.
absolutely, absolutely. And so I wish I would have had somebody do it for me a long time ago. I probably would have started earlier if I would have known that it wasn't such a scary place. So I definitely love this platform for allowing me to be able to do that. And also having good people around you because sometimes your vision, and I know people who tune in probably get tired of me saying it, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. You need to have good people around you because sometimes the vision of where you're going may not be the way you need to go. So you got to have somebody that you trust to be able to say, "Oh, nope, you need to take a hard left because this right turn is not, where you need to go."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and unless you have that, unless they've been there, you don't get that. And so, like you said, it causes you to hit some bumps and bruises that are not necessary for you to hit. So, since you've talk about some of the benefits though of having your own business, because you went from a 9 to 5, not being able to do that, to having your own business and being successfully able to do that. So, kind of talk about the differences other than the
So,
obvious ones.
yes. And it is, it's like a breath of fresh air, you know, because there's always, well, I mentioned about the, when you have to keep calling in to work and not being fair, you know, and, but then there's the other side of it where, okay, I have this time that I can use, but I still have to go through you and I still have to ask.
I gotta ask you to use something that's mine.
Right, ask you, can I use
Something's
it?
wrong with that. Something's definitely wrong with that.
So getting the taste of being your own boss is, it does something to you, right? Like, I
I
I
love it. You
don't
know, do
I
something to
don't
you.
yes, I don't knock, you know, people who, you know, work a 9 to 5, that's what they love doing, or some feel like, that's the only thing they can do.
Mhm.
But I'm just happy to be in this position. I just feel blessed to be able to do this, because if I wake up, Monday morning and say, you know what, I just don't have the motivation, I am in pain, I do not feel like doing anything, then that's on me, right? If I don't do anything for my business that day, well, who's going to be the one to suffer? That's me. That's on me. But also being able to um, use things that I've learned from different ones, and I must put in add in here that I have not just one mentor, not just one coach, but several people who are like my cheerleaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I rely on. A couple of them are in the comments here.
Okay, I believe in giving people their flowers. So go on, girl. If you want to shout them out, shout them
Yes.
out because I believe in it.
Look, Janina, she's my self care coach. Kiosha, productivity coach, and not to mention, really good friends. And Danny, Natural Ally D, that she like in my corner from the very beginning, a fellow aromatherapist.
Uh-huh.
And to me, you said it earlier about community. It, it's something about that community, having the community that makes it so much more enjoyable, right? When
Absolutely.
you have yeah, Danny said that we're aroma sisters.
Yes, yes.
And so th- that's what I love. I love being able to do this, being able to say that I do this, being able to have my own business, run my own business, and um, having goals and visions for this business, right?
Right.
That I couldn't have had, working for someone for their dream, right? I'm working
Hey,
for
say
my
that again
dream.
for the people in the back. It's your
Yes.
dream. Absolutely. I hear what you're saying. And I know you probably thinking, why is naturally Allie D still coming up there? Because I want to talk about that. She said definitely sharing is better when we do it together. I truly believe that. And I'm going to say this now. Me and Kiosha and Janina have talked about this before and never been able to get it together. But I really do. This is a side note. I'm not hijacking your interview. I just want to say I really do want to to develop a community where maybe we can put on a showcase and really talk to people about getting into this entrepreneur business thing and really do that. I want to form a group of ladies from different aspects from different places and do this. So we could talk about that another time. Anybody who's interested in doing that, most
Certainly.
definitely. I want you to shout me out because I definitely I want to get that together, create something that people can, can go to and get to and do. So absolutely. So I just wanted to say that, but yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Community is like it's everything. But I love what you said. You can carry out your own vision and not somebody else's because so you work for people and they go in whatever direction they want to, whether you agree, disagree. It doesn't matter if you're the one doing the work. You got to kind of carry out what they want to do. But working for yourself is something totally different. One day I'm gonna be a big girl, and this is not gonna be a side hustle. It's gonna be my only hustle. But I'm working
Right.
on that. And as I interview all you uh, only entrepreneurs, that's what I call you. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there for sure, for sure, for sure. So I think that that's great though that has allowed you now to go back to get the income that you were not able to get in that situation. Now you've created your own, and then not only have you created it for yourself, now you're teaching other people how to create it for themselves too, which is definitely awesome. Now, the thing about business, new businesses, old businesses, it's an ebb and flow. Sometimes you're riding high, sometimes you're riding low. That's the thing about being on your own in terms of income. Um, it's you just got to kind of ride it out. Some businesses, people take off right away and make a lot of money. Those are the rare ones. Most of us are like in it deep, fighting for it on a
Right.
regular basis. So, talk a little bit about the challenges though that come along, because again, that's something I like to talk about. People can talk about all the great things about being entrepreneurs, and there are wonderful things about being
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. Um, but there's some things too that we should be telling the people so they know it and they don't get smacked in the face when they decide to take this journey. So, what are some
Right.
challenges that you've had?
So I would say just because of it being later in life for me, then having to learn new things. So all the systems and processes have changed from back when I was the nerd in high school, right?
Right.
So having to, that learning curve and have to learn the different things um, that it takes to run a business. So
Right.
that has been a challenge for me. Um, Also, just the even the cost of those systems and processes, you know, because I'm one who I, I want to go the automated way. If I can put automation in place and it does it for me, then
Listen,
that's what I want to do. But
I ain't mad at you at all. Yeah, let's work smarter, not harder.
you know, but automation costs too.
Now that's the truth. Yes, yes, that's the truth.
So it's been that's been a challenge of mine as well with just the finances of being able to fund that and um, figuring out how do I get to that point where I may be looking at others, right? And they're saying, well, you should do this, use that. But I'm like, how? Like I don't exactly have big bucks rolling in. Like you
Right.
said, you don't start out with six figures in the first year, so
Second year, third year, fourth. You gotta do it for the love, not for the money, because
that's right.
it don't
That's
always
right.
come.
Yeah. So that has been some challenges for me. And just not getting so overwhelmed and fighting the urge to give up.
Whew,
Yeah.
that is definitely a biggie.
It's it's a huge thing to have to work on the mindset. You, to be an entrepreneur, your mind has to be right. It
Yes.
because it's some things that you have to process. Um, there's so much that's involved with um, say for instance, I know I deal with a lot money trauma. Okay, that's a real thing. What type of attitude do I have towards money? Um, Even imposter syndrome. Who am I, right? Who who am I to be able to say that I can help people the way I say that I do? Um, and comparing myself to others. So it's it's a lot that goes on in the mind that we have to deal with and overcome um, before we can even work on the business, the
Right.
logistics of the business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I say it all the time. We stand in our own way initially. That's what takes people so long to get into business. They do everything but talk themselves into it. They talk themselves out of it, all the reasons why not, why they can't, why they're not. So yeah, that I think is the biggest obstacle to getting into business, the right time, this or that, and none of those things really exist. You just got to do it, right?
Right,
And sometimes we're forced into it, like in your case. Other times we just take the plunge. But yeah, I often say we stand in our way. We're our biggest critics, and even in business, you have times. I think I just posted, like, I just had an episode where I was done. Like I was done. I'm just like, I'm tired of this. I'm over this whole entrepreneur thing. I'm done. I'm unmotivated. I'm uninspired. It's the whole thing, right? And then you just do a reset. and you get it back together. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, I completely feel you on that. Allie says, yes, the capital. I've heard we as Black women tend or more likely to fund or our businesses in the beginning. Anyone else heard that? I haven't heard it, but I definitely feel like we do. I also think that we need to learn how to become better pitchers because there's money out there. We just got to get
Yes.
to it. There's money out there for us, but I think that an area where we are really deficient is in pitching for the money, knowing how to ask for it. A lot of
Yes.
times, I think as Black women, we're so used to doing things ourselves. Like, "Well, I don't need nobody. But in this type of field, you can't really make it happen. You definitely need help. You know what I mean? So we got to get out of our way again. But then we have to learn how to ask for the money because it's not going to come as easy to us maybe as it might come to some others. So yeah, we definitely have to learn how to ask for it. Yeah.
And
Um,
that's true. I'd like to pick up on that because
sure.
um, as far as coaches, I have had a coach. Currently have one now. It's one locally where that is her thing. Her business is to help women to learn how to pitch your business. So she took me through a whole 8-week program to learn how to pitch my business for funding. And because she gave me an example, just what you were talking about, Danny, that um, she said that in a room of all women, that they had money to give out funding, right? It was, and all they asked you to do was get up and tell what your business was. Nobody got up except for her. She got up and they awarded her. I mean, it wasn't gobs of money, but they awarded her the money that they had to give out. But she just couldn't believe that nobody wanted to get up there and talk about their business. And it's certainly a lack out there as far as women being educated to be, because I didn't know. I was like, what is a pitch deck? What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. We got to educate people on that because there's a lot of money out there that we are just leaving
yes.
on the table. I know an amazing picture, and Amani Nicole, if you hear this, I want to have you on my show. I haven't had you yet, but I need to have you on. She has a wellness business too, but she is an amazing pitcher. She's gotten so much money and donations and things because she is just
Wow.
a beast when it comes to that. So hoping to have her on soon so that we could talk a little bit about that. But yeah, it's definitely out there. You got to know where the grants are. I mean, finding grants are a whole business in of itself. So we can go on and on. But again, ladies, those are the type of things that I want to create the forum for. The things that we're
Yes.
talking about. So yeah, we definitely need to do it, right? We are our own best resources. We have it all. We need to come together. We need to make it happen. But again, I'm gonna get off my soapbox with that. But yeah. Yeah, definitely. So there definitely are challenges, and I like that because I feel like we need to tell both sides. Because if you think you're running into business just so that you can get to the money, again, it's going to come later down the line, and it's going to come and it's going to go, and it's going to come and it's going to go. So you really have to understand how this thing works, right? There are really no overnight successes. I mean, again, there may be that one out of however many, but this is a journey, not
Mhm.
a sprint. So you have to understand what you're getting into. You need to research whatever business it is that you're thinking about getting into so you can understand what that looks like. But you definitely have to be committed. And again, we have the times when we don't want to, and that's okay too. I mean, we get burnt out, we get tired, we get all the things. But as Kiosha says, patience is the key. It really is, and that's why coaches are so important because they help get you back on track. They help get you back on track. So it's definitely, like you said, something that is needed, something that you should have in your pocket, a resource for you to go to when you're at those places. And you need a community to tap into when you are uninspired so they can inspire you again. So
Yes.
You definitely need all the things. So let's talk about where you see your business going. Next 5 years, maybe. What does it look like? The Oil Whisperer.
Next 5 years, um, I envision holding self care aromatherapy retreats.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like that was initially that was the whole thing that I wanted, that I saw myself doing. But it was like, okay, you have to pace yourself, you know,
Yeah.
and you have to start here first and then work your way up to it. And it is that that would be the ultimate thing, to be able to host these retreats, um, and my business being successful, where ultimately I have retired my husband early.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. That would be a nice gift. I'm sure he would not be mad at that.
No, he would not. No, he would not. I always say, my husband is the hardest working man I know,
Yeah.
and he deserves to be able to, hang that hat up, come home, and help me run my business.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I like it. I want to go back because there's something I meant to ask you. So, is this your certifications? Is that something you have to renew every so often, or is it like certified once, certified all?
Yes, it's different levels to certification that you can get. But
Okay.
so this is the first level certification. There's also, you can become a clinical aromatherapist, um, and they are more hands on with individuals, um, but we still have to do the continuing education units.
Okay.
So there's different courses that we, continuing to learn, courses that we take throughout the year, because each year you have to keep that up, right? Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so we just want to let the people know, don't be going in your kitchen mixing those stuff together, putting it in a bottle,
Right,
slapping a
right.
label on it, and giving it to folks. Okay, there is a real science to this thing. It's not
It
just
is, and then we're all about safety.
absolutely.
Natural Allied D, we discuss that a lot about. We get really um,
She said, "Lord, no."
anxious. See, yes,
Got people
that
break it
is
out.
like no, and that is one of the things that she focuses on, is educating home users to how to safely utilize essential oils. So,
Because
yeah,
it's not these oils you buying in Walmart. That ain't what we
please,
talking about
no,
here.
not Walmart, not Amazon, no.
That's not what we talk about. Those are just for your diffusers. Don't, but nothing else. But no, it's important to say because people are uneducated and they don't know. They think they pick up a bottle that says essential oils and they think that that's what it is. But
And that's true. That's true. And when you don't know, you don't know. But when you learn better, you do better, right?
that's right. So we trying to drop some gems on y'all tonight. So y'all can understand what we're talking about. And then better yet, you ain't even got to fool with it. You can reach out to my girl Shawn and she can hook you up. So she can teach you how to do this the right way, how to get yourself going. So moving into that being said, tell the people where they can find you.
So I can be found at um, www.aromatics.com, scrolling across your screen there.
Okay.
And on Instagram, I am the Oil Whisperer.
Okay.
On Facebook, I am Whispering Wellness Aromatics.
Okay.
That's my company, my business name,
Okay.
and just reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help in whatever way possible.
Got you. You can leave a comment here. I'll make sure that she gets it. So you know how to find her. She's out there. She's more than willing. I appreciate you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate the people in the chat. If you haven't gone to subscribe to my channel, please go subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. We got all kind of entrepreneurs on there. Anything you want, we got it. We like a one-stop shop. Look through the interviews, see what you need, click on it, and get in touch with the people. Because what I always say is anything that you can find in a big box store, you can find in small businesses. So listen, check out your small businesses, your local small businesses. We're doing it big out here. We just need you to know how to find us. So that's what I'm attempting to do, connecting people to people. So again, find Shawn at all the things, scrolling or whatever. And again, I appreciate you taking the time with us. I find this fascinating. Always, every time I have a conversation, I always learn something new. So I absolutely, absolutely love it. So, people, we are going to end the interview right here. As always, check me out in 2 weeks. We'll have somebody else. I don't know who it is off the top of my head, but be sure that there will be a purple promotion card out there letting you know in the next week or so who's up next. But in the meantime, you can certainly click on the channel and catch up on any of the other videos you've missed. If you weren't hanging with us live, you can certainly catch us on the replay. So, again, thank you very much for spending your Friday with us. Thank you again to people in the chat. We are going to end it right here. And Shawn, if you could just hang on for a second, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.